Bills National Football Show. Welcome aboard here on a Football Monday. Thank you so much for coming aboard. And I would like to give a speech. I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the planet. Haven't been coached by Frank Reich. I wanted to win that for him. Dude, seriously, I thought I was watching Matter Day versus John Bosco in a high school football national championship game. Holy cow, man. I was hoping to get a head coach at the podium, but good grief. Holy cow. It's always good to see when your coach is more emotional than your quarterback. Look, man, I mean, there are so many areas to go. And by the way, you're going to get objectivity here. You're not going to get cheerleading like most people are with this. Hey, it's a win. No shit. Hey, wait a minute. Congratulations. You beat a shitty Indianapolis Colts team. You don't get pats on the back for that. That's expected. Act like a freaking Super Bowl contender, not somebody that's getting by beating shitty teams. The Eagles have to start acting like champions, or you're going to keep fumbling along, playing bad football. And then when you play somebody good like Brady in the postseason, he's going to bounce you again. He's going to bounce you again. You took on the greatness of Michael Pittman and Matt Ryan, who's completely out of gas. 5 of their starters were out. Jesus criminy. Don't blow the damn Colts up like that's Peyton Manning's Colts or Johnny Unitas' Colts. How funny is that? Jeff Saturday outcoached Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen all day long. Nick Sirianni was a joke. 4th and 10. Your offense sucked all day. And you go for it on 4th and 10. This guy's emotions. I'm going to say to you guys one thing here. Passion's the greatest thing on the planet. It's the greatest thing on the planet. It could be your greatest asset. But it also could be your undoing. That's going to cost this guy. He was completely outcoached against a shitty Colts team. I mean it, man. You don't get pats on the back for that. Now, there's certain players that are going to get pats on the back here. Okay? Hey, Dre, there's certain guys that are going to get massive pats on the back. Okay? Awful first half. Worst first half of the Eagles all year long. The coaching staff on the offensive side was a joke all day long. That team is a one-and-done team. You keep playing like that. I don't give a shit what your record is. You ain't going far with that kind of performance. You're not going far. You're not a better offense than the Cowboys right now because of Goddard being out. You're not. You do not have a better offense. Plus AJ being injured. You don't have a better offense in Dallas. Goes for it in the 3rd, 4th, and 10. How dumb can you get on the road? And you're getting your head kicked in. Offensively. Jonathan Gannon's guys stepped up. Outside of the opening drive, they were really good. They did a nice job on Jonathan Taylor. And I'll say this to you. Linval Joseph, you got my respect. So did Dominic Sue. Those guys were fabulous. They were fabulous. 17, 18 plays. Hey, am I right when I say this? That didn't they start Linval Joseph? I mean, I couldn't believe it. Those guys walked right off the street, but it's because of the amount of years that those guys have played. They did a fantastic job. Congratulations. Trevor, appreciate it, brother. They were fantastic. I thought the run defense, you kept the team under a C note. All fabulous, all good. Actually, I don't really think the secondary played all that hot, but there were some missed tackles out there. Hey, don't go to a forefront anymore, please. You get killed at it. You get killed when you're in a forefront. You need to stick to that five-front base because you're very good with it. Dominic Suh's got some gas left. We're going to see how he plays out over the next couple weeks. I mean, Nick Sirianni's coaching staff on offense was terrible. Absolutely brutal. Brutal all day long. All day long. All day long. Jalen Hurts was sensational. And people wanted me to rip him. Are you crazy? If you don't have Jalen Hurts on the field against the Colts, there's not a chance in hell you win. Not a chance in hell. 16 carries, not good enough. You can't have your quarterback running 16 times, or this guy's going to be a walking concussion coming up. You keep running him 16 times, he'll be in concussion protocol maybe the Dallas week, and that would be a crime. You don't want that guy getting hit. Hurts was great. He was. Hell of a lot more calmer and more poisonous, stupid coach. Rah-rah guy. I mean, seriously, this guy should be coaching high school, not NFL football. Some go, it's the face of faith. Nobody acts like that in history of Philadelphia. And by the way, some go, Sills, he wasn't screaming at Colts fans. How do you know that? The look of it looks bad. You look like a cheerleader. Act like a professional. Act like you've been there. Act like you're a contender for a Super Bowl. Not that you just beat the 4-6-1 Colts. It's unbelievably bad looking. What happens when you go into a losing streak then? Is this guy going to have that kind of emotion on the other end too? I like my coaches to be this. Never get too high, never get too low. When things are going great, you never get over the top. And when things are too low, you never get that low. You look to your coach for even keel. This guy's all over the map. He coaches like it too. Hey, I'm starting to see a flaw in this guy. You can rattle Nick Sirianni. Well, the emotion of Frank got to. You're an NFL head coach, guy. You're supposed to be a professional. Nothing's supposed to rattle you. The Colts rattled you? Wait till Brady gets a hold of you. Hey, we're better than. No, you're not. Thank God you got Jalen. Thank God you got Jalen. Sirianni looked like a high school coach. Coaching some Philadelphia high school. Terrible. Terrible. Offense was everywhere. You'll never beat an elite team with that performance. You've got Jalen Hurts, and you are lucky. You are lucky. The Colts. We're talking about the Colts here. You want to know what a quarterback is? I watched him last night. His name is Patrick Mahomes. That guy's a freak show. You know, he's got almost 30 touchdowns. Hey, by the way, so you still think Jalen's going to throw for $4,000? Got 7 games left. What's he at, 2,200 now? You think he's going to throw for another 1,800 yards over the next 7 weeks? Okay. I want to see that. You're lucky. But you need luck in this game. You know, hey, the Colts suck. It's a train wreck organization. Look, Jalen Hurts kept you alive. He kept you alive. Okay? He kept you alive. Man, that's it. Don't ever compare Hurts to Patrick Mahomes. It's like comparing the sun and the moon. There is no comparison. Out of your tree. Unbelievable. Here's the numbers now. 17-16. First downs, 18-14. Third down efficiency, 5-12. Total plays. Hey, you kicked it up 8 plays. 61 plays, a lot of 3-and-outs. Colts had more. Total yards, you kept them under 300. Again, the defense played well. Rushing, held the team under a C note, 99 yards. Eagles, 147. Eagles had 33 attempts. Very good. Of course, Jalen, 16. And 6 turnovers in the last 2 weeks. Got to clean that up. Got to clean that up. Individual numbers. Hurts, 18-25, 190, 107, 1 and a touchdown. Thought he was great. Your leading rusher. 16 carries, 86 yards for Jalen. 2 touchdowns in the game. 1 rushing, 1 throwing. Jonathan Taylor, 22 for 84 yards. This is after he coming off 147 yards against the Raiders last week. And a touchdown. The Colts are limited, man. Michael Pittman's their only dude. 6 catches, 75 yards. And here, look at this. Devonta Smith, 6 for 78. A.J. Brown, 5 for 60. And a fumble. I mean, again, the takeaways are they survived. And yes, that is part of the narrative for an NFL season, surviving games. But the question I'll ask you, you think the Eagles are getting better over the last month, or you think they're getting worse as a football team? You think they're getting better or worse? If I had to put that out there, I'd say this. I think teams are figuring them out. That's not championship football. You don't even act like a champion. I mean, your coach doesn't act it. I saw Coach Howie Roseman there at the tunnel waiting for all his guys to come in, congratulating all his players and coaches. I don't know who's got a bigger ego, Jerry Jones or him. I mean, seriously, Coach Roseman, there he was at the locker room door waiting for all of his guys. Unbelievable, man. Go up to the GM box, guy. What the hell are you doing down there? This guy's got to be part of the whole thing. No wonder Doug got fired. Doug probably had enough of that. Bro, this is about my team. You undermine your coach when you do that shit. Get out of there. What are you there possibly for? What's the GM possibly there for at the front door of the locker room? What possibly could he be there for, except that he wanted to have the camera on him? You guys are reading your clippings. You're going to get bounced. This team offensively is not playing well. The quarterback is. I'm going to tell you this. This is going to be the craziest thing I'll say to you. Boy, you're lucky Jalen Hurts is on your football team, or you guys would not be winning ball games. And you'd be losing to shitty teams like the Texans, the Cardinals, and this last team you played, the Colts. Jalen Hurts is doing whatever he has to win games. Hey, by the way, some would go like this. Sills, are you flipping your boat around on Hurts? No. This is what you have. That's the style of play you have. It's going to be slow, methodical. Go down the field. This is what we're talking about. Is that my style of quarterback? Absolutely, 100% absolutely not happening when I have a quarterback who can't throw for touchdowns and win games in the air. Absolutely not would I have that. Oh, no, better yet. Wait, I'll take that back. I'm not paying for that. Look at Steven, 9-1. Congratulations. You beat a ton of shit teams, and now you're playing like one. That offense was terrible. And you know what? Someone's going, Sills, 9-1. You're right. You think you're a championship football team coming off that Sunday game? Yes or no? You think you're a championship football team? You sure don't act like it. I can't tell. I'll get to the Vikings, Jeremiah. I'll get to those guys. GT goes, yes, of course you have a 1-point win versus a 4-6-1 team. You struggle out loud. Washington dominates you, and the week before that against Houston, you struggled with that team, and you think you're a championship team. Or no, wait. You're playing championship football. I agree with you. I laugh at you too. Can it get better? Guys have to get healthier. The Cowboys have a better offense than the Philadelphia Eagles today. Why? Goddard, his loss was felt. Can I tell you the biggest significant part of having Dallas Goedert? What do you guys think had the biggest significance? And guess what? They got beat and you got beat by the shitty Washington Commanders. What do you think Dallas Goedert's biggest loss is? And it was so evident on Sunday. That's right, Jeremiah. JM, way to go, guys. Way to go. There you go, Mr. International Travis. Absolutely. How many times did the tight ends get called for holding when they were trying to set the edge? And guys, Indianapolis doesn't have a pass rush. There's really nobody on that team who's a good pass rusher. Buckner in the middle is a good run stopper, but really, the other guys on that team, there was very little pass rush. Very little. Dallas Goedert was felt not only in the offensive passing numbers, but he was also felt more so in the blocking game. Every single time that they tried to run outside against the Colts, they got called for holding. I counted 7 penalties. No, excuse me. I think there were 7 total. I think there were 4 that were on the tight ends. That guy was felt in the run game. Mulatto taking a step back, playing hurt. I think it's the latter there, Philly. I think he's playing hurt. Yeah, he was definitely felt in that run game. Okay? Do you believe the Eagles are playing good football right now? You think they're playing good ball? I think they're playing winning ball. Your talent is so here. Guys, but wait a minute. I am going to say this to go along with some of you guys. Okay? Watch this. I will say this. Their talent is so good. I'm talking about you guys being a champion here, not winning the division. I don't care about you winning. Well, I do care about you winning the division. Goals are set at the beginning of the year. Win your division, get into the playoff, get into the tournament. Anything can happen. We've seen it before. Hell, you've experienced the greatest run, in my opinion, in recent years when Foles got in. You never know, right? Jalen Hurts took a step forward in my eyes as a leader. Never got rattled. He was behind. Called his own play at the end. Dude, that's putting the game in your hands and going, I got to go get this for my guys because we're not playing great. And he did. The coaching staff didn't help him. Okay? I think Slay's, hey, 5-star, I think Slay's hurt too, man, because he was beat often. Look at Jay Slay. Now you're on Mahomes' jock, guy with 30 touchdowns and 3,000 passing yards with 8 games left. Yeah, I am. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? Jalen Hurts took a step forward. He is a bona fide MVP candidate. That was my favorite performance by Hurts. Coming off a loss, how would he respond? Nobody around him was playing good. Coaches sucked. Running game was really him. Wide receivers were non-factor. There was nothing going. So he had to figure it out. And he did. On the road. Against a high charged up football team. Colts are playing on emotion. They are. Playing on emotion. Hurts found a way. Some of you will go, Sills, it wasn't a very good, he won it. If you don't have Jalen Hurts on that team, you're not winning that ball game. You have no chance. If Gardner Minshew's in there, you're getting beat. You probably would have got beat 16-3. That kid Gainwell does not belong on the field. He's not very good. I don't know where these people come off with saying that he's good. He's a dude. He's a dude. He's not good. That guy's not a good player. He's a guy. He's average. The guy should be on a scout team. Don't make that guy more than he's not. He's not. Casually. Dude, that old line is going to open holes for a lot of people. There's nothing where I go like this when I see Kenneth Gainwell play. Hey, man, wow. There's not a wow factor about him at all. Dude, what's up with Sanders? Will somebody tell me, is he on the IR? You talk about milk carton? We got the milk carton boys tomorrow. What's up with Miles Sanders? Is he injured? Or are we just like getting out coached? Why is Miles Sanders the last 2 weeks not a factor on your football team? Where's Miles Sanders? What's the problem here? Or is Howie playing games because they got to move off him and they don't want this guy to get his 1,400 yards? To me, and don't say that that's not like Howie to do that. He sat everybody at the end of that game a couple of years back and threw that game. Kelsey, another bad snap that cost the team points. Happens, Isaiah. Me sitting here ripping Jason Kelsey is not going to happen. That guy, he's built up too much equity for me to sit there and look at him and go, you got to play better, because he's a great ball player, an essential part of that team if they're going to do anything this year. They don't want to pay him. I think they're not playing Miles Sanders because Sanders is on pace for 14, or he was, until this last couple weeks here. They're just not giving him the carries. Why? Is he hurt? Does anyone know? Because I don't understand what's going on with him. Please tell us why. Tell us why aren't we 1-9 if we're so awful, Big Sills? See, look at Stan. Stan's cheering because he beat a 4-6-1 Colts team. And he goes, you sound like a one. Yeah. Because if you come from a place where you think that you need to improve, you're going to be in a position to be a champion. When you think you got everything going right, then you start running around stadiums, hollering and jumping in stands and doing the Packer leap or the Lambeau leap like Nick Sirianni. We got to come up with a new leap for Lincoln Financial. The Sirianni leap. I'm getting ready for that. Pretty soon we're going to have the Sirianni leap. Nick's going to be jumping in the stands. Be doing a Sirianni leap. Act like a champion, man. Maybe if you act like a champion, you'll play like one every week. I'm telling you, these teams are figuring it out. You could see it each week. The Lincoln Leap, starring Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman. Those guys taking bows after a game against the Colts. All crying and shit. You beat the Colts, guy. If you have an emotional issue with how they fired Frank, you're the head coach. And you're taking shots at another organization that hired you, that gave you an opportunity to work there because of Frank. Frank Reich's doing okay. He got $8 million to go out the door. Frank's okay. He got $8 million. You're shedding a tear for a guy who got $8 million out the door? Bro, so hokey. So freaking hokey. Guy acts like a high school coach. It's embarrassing. Yeah, I know, man. I saw Coach Roseman. I saw Coach Roseman, head coach, greeting everybody as they went into the locker room. I thought it was great, man. Thought it was great. Seriously. Coach Roseman, man, he was fabulous. Again, can I tell you the guy that I was most impressed with was Jalen Hurts. Jalen was the most professional guy on that field, and those two D tackles were the two best players on the defense. TJ Edwards played well too. Jack, what's up, brother? I was incredibly impressed with the two tackles. They were the best players, man. 7 tackles, sack, TFLs, everything. They were great. I was pleasantly surprised. Got to give it up to Tracy Rocker too, man. I thought he put him in a good position. Dude, you guys really, I mean, that was good looking. That was very good looking. Still's finding ways to shit talk the Eagles. I didn't have to. Did you not watch the game? Look at 9-1. Oh, you must have came out of that Colts game feeling even grander about a Super Bowl, right? 9-1? Shit, that team will get bounced in the opening round of a playoff game with them. You put that kind of performance out there, Brady sends your ass home again. Embarrassing fashion, too. Hey, I can't wait to see the Cowboy game now. That Cowboy game got a little bit more juiced up. Absolutely. Joseph, I love Philadelphia fans. Record and positioning matters when it comes to the Eagles because they got a good one. But hey, dude, this kid's totally getting better. This kid's totally getting better. I thought it was a great step forward for Jalen Hurts. I came away from that game doing this. When that final second clicked off and they started pushing them back, especially in that last drive, and they ended up closing the deal to win it, I was like, man, Jalen Hurts has come a long way. You know, he's come a long way. He's putting his leadership and now his talent all together. Ugly win for him as the player and not this side freak show that was going on behind the scenes here with Frank and Howie and all that other bullshit that doesn't mean anything to the outcome of a game. I don't care, Frank. I've known Frank longer than Nick Sirianni's known Frank. We were teammates. I know Frank Reich probably 25 years more longer than he does. Okay? I don't give a shit about Frank Reich. When I'm playing a game or coaching a game, that has nothing to do with the outcome of a ball game. Nothing. On Green Bay, crying at the podium. Seriously, man, I thought I was watching a soap opera. It's embarrassing. Well, I really love the emotion. I don't want my coach emotional like that. I want my coach to be level-headed. I want him to be Tony Dungy. When Tony Dungy was 0-8 his first year, Tony was never any more emotional than when he won the Super Bowl. He was the same. Tony Dungy could be 0-8 or just win a Super Bowl. You're going to get the same guy. You know why? Players and everyone in your organization look to leadership. Leadership has even keel mentality. And you know what they do? They give you and they look you and they give you and they reek of confidence. That doesn't reek of confidence. That reeks of sidebar bullshit. A.J. Brown is not a selfish player. I thought the kid from the Colts made a good play coming up from behind and knocking the ball out. Stop doing that. I am not on A.J. Brown for fumbling that. I am not. Dude, those guys on the other side of the football get paid too. Those guys get paid too. He made a football play on A.J. Brown. The ball's not going to always bounce the Eagles' way. But when you got leadership at your quarterback position, more than not, you're going to push it across the finish line like you did late in that ball game to win it. See, you're not going to get this anywhere else because Pauly Shores of the world and the Whips and the Fanatics and all the rest of these cheerleader guys. Well, you know, it's a win. And you start blowing up the Colts like you guys beat Peyton Manning's Colts, Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. You don't get kudos for barely beating shitty teams. You got to put those teams away. You know the problem with the Eagles this year has been? You guys are right. You're 9-1. Great record. You really don't finish people off, though, do you? You keep everybody hanging around. One day that's going to matter in a game that matters. It's going to be the most critical game. And all that equity that you built up, how about this? If this football team ends up losing 2 games, 1 game, 3 games, you get into the playoffs and get bounced, it'll be the biggest disappointment in Eagle history. Go back to the final Eagle game against the Buccaneers in the final game at the Vet. To me, that game and that Foles game, too, as you were in the playoffs against the Saints, those 2 games stick out to me the most. You get bounced, it'll be the biggest collapse of all time. You are what your records. Okay. We'll see. You keep squeezing by the 4 and 6 and 1 teams and the Washington Commanders, and who you got, the Packers now? Hey, this Packer game's going to be interesting. What Aaron Rodgers are you going to get? What Aaron Jones are you going to get? I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out. Packers pretty much have loaded up the U-Hauls now. So, but that game is going to be interesting, but I still think the Eagles are better. The Cowboy game and the Titans game is going to be very interesting. The Titan game. You know, they really miss A.J. Brown. No, they don't. The Titans don't miss A.J. Brown at all. Not at all. They're just fine. Sitting at 7-3, they're okay. You know, they're going to miss him so much. Tannehill just threw for 331 this past weekend, and that Treylon Burke kid had 114 yards. Hey, Big Sills, what do you think of the kid who lost his scholarship at UF? I saw that. I'll get into that later on in a couple hours from now. Sills, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to the Packers. Got to beat that team. Don't say that. Put that team out of its misery. Sirianni's passion is what we love about him. Bad take. Really, Anton? Bad reaction, in my opinion. I hated it. You go right ahead. You root for the cheerleader. Hated it. Let me see. Can you imagine Andy Reid doing the Lincoln Leap? Big old Andy, man. Jumping in the stands at Lincoln Financial. Or Doug Peterson jumping in the stands. Or Dick Vermeil even. Talk about an emotional guy. How about Dick jumping in the stands? There hasn't been a more dominant team than the Birds this year. Until Washington got a hold of you. Dominated you. Here I thought Cousins was changing. Me too, dude. Calvin, what's up, Big Sill? Saying hi from Jonestown, PA. Love it, brother. Thank you, Calvin. Sills, how can I not say that the Eagles' performance has been terrible for the last 3 weeks? But yes, know this. I'm not saying. I'm chipping away now. This is not like covering the Jets. Jets got a lot of holes, especially that shit quarterback they have. Okay? Zach Wilson's terrible. There is no hope for that kid in New York. Another turd quarterback draft by the New York Fireman Ed Jets. Sorry, Jody. He's terrible. You're not going to sit and kill that team that much because your quarterback sucks. We're trying to win a championship here. Act like it. You're talking about, hey, don't you come away from beating bad teams with not a good taste in your mouth? Or is it this for you? Hey, did you see what we did against the Colts? Wow, that did great. I don't look at it like, man, I'll tell you what. Every time I played against an inferior team and I didn't play that hot, I couldn't wait to get out for the next week. That never left a good taste in my mouth. I don't know, man. Fireman Ed, he's back. Patriots beat him on a punt return. Typical. 14 straight in a row. Talk about owning your draws. Brian, it should be a bad taste because you know why? Why? Brian goes, it's a bad taste. You know why, Brian? You're expecting championship. Goddard missing is a significant reason the offense stalled. Agreed, Janet. Hey, Janet, how many times did they try to set the edge and they got called for holding? How many times they get called for holding on the perimeter? 4 out of the 7 penalties? At least. Sills, just answer this. Why didn't Mahomes put away the Colts or the Logan? Do me a favor. Don't bring up Mahomes in any way, shape, or form when you're talking. Teams lose, like you lost to the shitbag Washington Commanders and like you struggled against the 4-6-1 Colts. It happens. It happens, and they get paid too. That's why. There's a reason there's only been one undefeated team in NFL history. Teams lose. Teams lose. Let me see this. Let's check this out here. So you guys, you're not really comparing Patrick Mahomes. Bro, it's Mahomes and everyone else for MVP. Jalen second, and then it's the third guy is far distance too. Patrick Mahomes statistics 2022. Look at this. He's got 3,200 yards, 28 touchdown passes, only 7 picks, and he's got 8 games left. That guy's going to throw for 5,500 yards, 55 touchdowns. Yeah, you're right. You're close. Yeah, you're right. You're close. Hey, don't try to use my logic. Come in. Yeah, right. Hey, let's take a look at Jalen's stats. What's he got? 14 touchdown passes. Jalen Hurts 2022 stats. And two weeks in a row, he's under. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last 5 weeks, he's only gone over 240 yards twice. He's got 2,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. With 7 games left, 106. So you think he's getting a 4,000? He's going to throw for 1,600 more yards over the next 7 weeks. Somebody told me, Xander told me he's going to throw for 7,000 yards and 75 touchdowns. I was like, really? Okay. Okay. Rushing touchdowns, baby. You better have rushing touchdowns. You'd have got beat by the Colts, dog. How many rushing touchdowns? Okay, let me add. How many rushing touchdowns does Patrick Mahomes have this year in 2022? He's got 1, so he got 29. Jalen, baby. It's Mahomes. And it's second. He's second in like QBR. I mean, this guy's unbelievable, man. What you watched last night, he was amazing. Jeff Saturday outcoached the Eagle offensive coaches. I thought it was one of the most embarrassing things I've seen all year. There was a guy who was in a booth 3 weeks ago breaking down film for NFL Countdown, and he outcoached you guys all day yesterday. Unbelievable. But Saturday lost. Congratulations. You beat the Colts. Oh, my God. Crazy. Eagles should play me over Gainwell. That kid Gainwell's not a good player. I keep hearing people tell me he's good. He's not. Because, hey, do you guys remember what Xander, right? You guys remember what I said to you on Friday? This game should not be close. And remember what I said? I can't see the Colts scoring over 17 points. Just so happens they scored 16. And I also said this. We'll know after the first quarter if this is going to be a game or not. As soon as they took that ball down the field, I knew it would be a 4-quarter game. 4-quarter was a 58-minute game. Actually, a 59-minute game against that team. How you doing? Yeah, you almost got beat by a guy who was wearing a ESPN blazer. Unbelievable. TJ Edwards, I thought, played well. Kaiser White, not so well. The two guys in the middle were a factor. Okay? They were a factor. They clearly were. Held the team under 300 yards. The defense stepped up. Gets a very limited offensive football team. The only guy you had on that field that was worth a shit was Jonathan Taylor. And it made it a 1-point game. Kaiser White. I agree. Okay. Hey, and Robert Quinn, dude, they got to figure something out with him or cut him. Or cut him. Hey, by the way, the Vikings, here's one thing we have now come to understand about the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings cannot win when they're in the spotlight. They had that game at home against the Cowboys, and that game was so out of hand that the network switched it to the Bengal game. They took the Cowboys off the television. They never take Cowboy games off TV. Traditionally, the highest ranked games. And put the Bengal-Pittsburgh game on. I was like, what? They put the Bengals and the Steelers on. They destroyed them. Dak looked great. Running game looked great. Tony Pollard looked great. You could say they got O-line issues. It's going to be a tough team. The Cowboys, now, again, I want to see them be more consistent. Here's the one thing I'll say. I think their offense is better right now than the Eagle offense. And if you played a game against them, they'd put up way more points than you. However, I want to see Dallas do it consistently. I want to see the Cowboys do this consistently. They have not been able to put these games back to back. And by the way, they got beat by that Packer team up at Lambeau. Mr. International, I mean, Justin Jefferson, for the season that he's having, dude, you can't lose to the Cowboys and then turn around and the Eagles dust you too. And every time your football team, by the way, they're still the number 2 seed. Gray says, you have a better chance of winning the Powerball than run through Linval Joseph and Dominic Sue. They were great. They really were. And they played with great effort. I saw some get-off too, man. I did. I saw some get-off. Dak chokes when it counts. You know what's funny? You guys talk about Dak Prescott choking. Coming from an organization that hasn't won anything with this current coach or quarterback, it's rich. You have won nothing. Nothing. You don't even have a hat yet. Oh, wait, you do. You made the playoffs last year. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing you've won. That's what makes Sirianni and his dopey antics look childish. I mean, I could see if Frank Reich was dying of cancer or something, or this guy's on a respirator, or he's got COVID, or what have you. He's got $8 million out the door. He'll get another head coaching job. Shit, the Eagles will probably hire him. Relax. It's okay. I didn't really like how the Colts dude. What have you won? You have no equity in this league yet. You have no equity. Dak has no equity. Dak has zero equity with me, as does Cousins. Omar, Sills wants a ring in week 1. You god dang right I do, Omar. I want a ring in week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through to week 20. You're damn right. Play like you're a champion every single freaking time you step on the field, and you'll never be let down. Never let down. You're damn right. You go into every game with a championship mentality, Omar. Not some weak-ass, lame-ass attitude. You play like a champion. You think like a champion. You walk like a champion. You practice like a champion all the time. Or why do it? Charles goes, really? Tampa looking? Hey, Charles, before you start talking about the Bucs, you better take that nasty taste out of your mouth after they beat the shit out of you in the playoffs. Look at you talking shit on Brady and the Bucs after they waxed you. You got commentators screaming at Jalen. By the way, does Jalen throw to anybody else? I mean, does he throw to anybody else? I mean, let's see here. Do you know Quez Watkins has 12 catches on the year? 12. Let's see. Smith had 6. Brown had 5. So 11 catches between those two dudes. Jesus, criminy. Talk about not spreading it around. I wish we had the Bucs this week. No, you don't. Not after that performance against the greatness of the Colts. No, you don't. No, you don't. What, you think you would have beat Brady with that performance you had against the Colts? He'd have put 4 touchdowns on you. Really? Sills is a Tampa fan? Once again, I don't root for any team. You got me wrong. I've told you this. I root for winning football and content. Sills is a fan of any organization that would give him a gig. Bro, I've worked with so many. It's all good. Hired personally by Al Davis. Personally. Dan, how'd you like to come and do the pre- and post-game show for the Oakland Raiders? Mr. Davis, thank you. Hey, congratulations. You beat a shitty Colts team. And your coach is in the stands doing the Lincoln Leap. He's doing the Lincoln Leap. I was watching that shit, man. And he wasn't screaming at any coach. It's dopey. It's totally dopey. I'm not sure I've ever seen a coach do that. An NFL head coach. That's why we love him, though, Dan. No, you don't. You don't. Hold on. You like him. I like him. Moshe got the best of him there. I don't know. My coach is crying and jumping, doing the Lincoln Leap. I don't know what to say. Hey, I'm a little embarrassed for him, actually, man. Hey, I won't lie to you, man. I'm a little embarrassed for your coach here on a Monday. You know, the guy's in tears. He's hugging Coach Roseman, and he's doing the Lincoln Leap, and he's telling everybody how shitty the Colts organization is after he beats them because they fired a guy who gave him $8 million out the door. I don't know. I don't know. I was embarrassed. Oh, he's a funny character. Yeah. Love Coach. Yeah, I bet you do. Raider fans hated Dan too. Not likely, kid. Not likely. I'll post a shitload of pictures of me in the black hole with them broadcasting. I'm the only man in the history of the black hole broadcasting a show on radio live from the black hole. Hurts needs 227 yards per game to reach 4,000. I'll still bet on it. Yeah, because why? The last couple of weeks he's been throwing for it. He's a CEO type coach. CEOs jump in the stands. So Elon Musk jumps in the stands at Twitter. They got a nice mezzanine section. And as soon as he walked in with that sink and all that shit, Elon Musk jumped into the Twitter stands doing the wave. I thought Nick was going to do the wave, man. That's why they play for him. Look at Omar. Omar, this ain't high school, dude. You play for the Eagles because you get paid $9 million a year. You think I'm playing because the coach is up there doing the Lincoln Leap? I think you don't understand professional football. When I get $1 million deposited to my account every Tuesday, that's what I'm playing for. And that's what every other NFL guy in that building is playing for. What, do you think Dominic Sue took a cheap $2.5 million deal? I'll come play for nothing because, it's the Eagles. Guys are crazy. Embarrassing. I'd like to thank everybody, especially Coach Roseman, for showing up at the door. What's up with Howie, too? Can Howie lay in the weeds and let all the things that he's done with that organization take shape? Or does he have to really throw himself out there so everybody knows that he's doing all this too? Does he really have to be out front and center? I think that's a dopey look too. He'll be doing the Lincoln Leap with the Lombardi Trophy. Anton, he does that. I'll do the Lincoln Leap. I'll do the Lincoln Leap. If he's... Hey, my favorite thing is watching Brady all drunk and shit throwing the Lombardi Trophy in Tampa Bay, right there from boat to boat. What was that, number 7? Yeah, which you'll beat him, right? Sirianni looked like a Frisbee jumping in the stand. Oh, my God. Win or lose, Dan's always negative towards the Eagles. Not true, man. I said without Jalen Hurts, you are nowhere in that game. You got beat 16-3 for sure. If Jalen's not your quarterback, you're smacked around in that game. You're lucky. Hurts will reach 4,000 while losing his best pass target and got it for 4 weeks. Well, that's a proclamation, not fact, but okay. Sean, that's a proclamation, my friend, is what that's called. That's not a fact. And we did beat them. Eagles are too balanced off. They're not balanced. Marina, what were you watching Sunday? Balanced? Quez Watkins has 12 catches this year. Balanced? Let's see. Here, watch this. I'll show you something here in the last month and a half for Devonta Smith. 18 for 148. Let's add this up now. He's got 24 catches. He's got 78. So in the last month and 2 weeks, Devonta Smith has 24 catches for 226 yards. Yeah, that's spreading it around. Yeah, it's balanced. Is Jalen Hurts better than Watson now? Absolutely not. Sills can't spell proclamation. No, but you know what I can spell? Cheerleader. Jalen hit 7 different receivers yesterday. Then how come the number is under 200 yards passing? Hassan got off the bus. I saw him. I couldn't believe it. Shit, man, I was getting ready to get in my teepee and send out smoke signals. Hassan. Hassan. I was going to go in my teepee and start sending out smoke signals. But he showed up, man. Hassan showed up. So he's not a milk carton kid this week. And only 25 throws. Smith has more catches than AJ. Yeah, and I could promise you this. Devonta Smith will probably have 890 yards in receiving yards this year. He'll have a worse year than he did a year ago. A couple more catches. Yeah, he's on pace. Did Sills give Hurts any credit today? Absolutely. Hey, Zeus, you don't have Jalen Hurts, you don't win that ball game. You don't. Watson's going to be washed when it comes back, guaranteed. Okay. Tell you what, just like everyone, you keep with Jalen. I'll stick with Josh Allen. I'll stick with Mahomes. I'll stick with Deshaun Watson. I'll stay with them dudes. You can have your guy. So let me get this right. Jalen Hurts had almost as many carries as he had completions. That'll work out. Hey, how's Justin Fields' shoulder doing? How's Justin Fields' shoulder doing? Remember I said that. I'm going to leave it there. You keep running Jalen Hurts 16 times, he won't finish the year. He won't finish the year. You got Tennessee coming up. I think you lose that game. You're not better coached than that team. You're not better coached. I can't wait for that game. I think you'll beat Green Bay. I think you beat Green Bay. Allen is a born loser because your guys won nothing. 0. Yeah, you're right. When you watch Josh Allen play, you see Jalen Hurts, right? Field squat 600, man. I got to take a timeout. I do want to hit on, there's so much to go here. Playoff picture. A little bit more kudos on the defense. I got to start giving some kudos on the defense. Gary Cobb, Fox 29 at the bottom of the hour, and hour number 2, as always. Dak Prescott. God, there's so much. A.J. Brown. Where are you, bro? Patrick Mahomes. And there's Quez Watkins again. 12 catches all year long. I thought he was going to be a factor this year. Please hit the like button. Hour number 2. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Don't wait until after.